Former Federal Land Development Authority Chairman Tan Sri Muhammad Isa Abdul Samad was found guilty on 9 charges of corruption involving 3 million ringgit and was sentenced to 6 years jail and a fine of 15.45 million ringgit. He was granted a stay of execution on his sentence pending appeal. Justice Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali ordered Muhammad Isa to post bail amounting to 1.5 million ringgit to be settled in full by tomorrow afternoon. Muhammad Isa is also to report to the nearest police station once a month. To recap, he was charged with 9 counts of dishonestly receiving gratification for himself in cash, totaling 3.09 million ringgit from Ikhwan Zaidel, board member of Gagasan Abadi Properties, for helping to approve the purchase of a hotel by Felda Investment Corp for 160 million ringgit. A former Mara Inc. chairman is facing 22 charges for allegedly receiving bribes totaling 33.45 million from controversial property purchases in Melbourne, Bernama reports. MACC Chief Commissioner Datuk Sri Azam Baki confirmed the arrest of the former chairman, aged 65, at the agency's headquarters in Putrajaya. Azam says that he will face charges under Sections 16A and 17A of the MACC Act 2009, as well as Section 24 of the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001. According to the report, investigations into the case began after the Sydney Morning Herald reported that a Malaysian living in Australia had been charged with bribing a foreign officer relating to the sale of the Dudley International House Student Dormitory to Mara Inc. Australian newspaper The Age also claimed that a group of very wealthy Malaysian officers had overpaid by 4.75 million Aussie dollars for an apartment block in Melbourne in 2013, and that the difference had been channeled to several people. Mara Inc. also owns a 12-storey building on Swanston Street in Melbourne that was purchased in 2012, with the media reporting that it had suffered losses of almost 60 million ringgit in that transaction. LPI Capital's net profit for the fourth quarter came in 9.96% higher at 95.23 million, thanks to an improved claims ratio and higher gross premium income by its insurance unit, Lonpac Insurance. Top line grew year-on-year by 5.79% to 422.38 million from 399.26 million due to growth in gross earned premiums from its general insurance segment. LPI also declared a second interim dividend of 44 cents per share, which brings FY20's total dividend payout to 72 cents per share. For its full-year report card, net profit rose 4.46% to 336.73 million, while revenue just inched up by 1.18% to 1.62 billion from 1.6 billion last year. Chairman Tan Sri Dr. Teh Hong Piao said in an accompanying statement that 2021 will continue to be dominated by the COVID-19 pandemic and the ongoing global efforts to contain the spread. He said that the need for digital transformation was further emphasized by the events of last year and accelerated LPI's digital solutions to cope with the restrictions imposed by the MCOs. Lyon Hub International is aiming to expand its Baker's Cottage brand within its established Southeast Asian market. According to Bernama, Lyon Hub has a strong presence in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam and the Philippines. EDN Group COO Dato' Lau Ju Hong says its business-to-consumer channel has been very well received in the Malaysian market. He believes that the same success could be equally replicated in wider ASEAN and that it would allow them to sustain and future-proof Lyon Hub's farm-to-plate business model. Lyon Hub has ramped up Baker's Cottage's outlet expansion with an additional 67 outlets by end 2020 from 28 in Jan 2020. It saw brisk business during the MCO, selling more than 250 roast chickens per outlet per day, as well as an increase in sales for its cakes and tarts. IOI Corp's recent diversification push sees the company expecting to reap a harvest of MD2 pineapples as well as other cash crops in 2022. In total, 25,000 MD2 pineapples have been planted each month since August 2020. According to IOI, the pineapples will intercrop between rows of pandan coconut trees and other crops such as bananas and kanaf. The company claims the MD2 pineapples hold high domestic and global demand, specifically from China. Instead of relying solely on oil palm, IOI's strategic priority to diversify to other crops forms part of the Group MD and CEO Dato' Lee Yao Chaw's plan, which was introduced in March 2020. He says it will ultimately help to reduce its exposure to CPO price volatility.